My name is Lindsay and welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video and I'm gonna be completely honest, it is really hard for me getting comfortable talking to this camera, so just bear with me. I've been so excited to make this video because recently I've taken a trip to Aruba, and Aruba is a beautiful Caribbean island just 15 miles off the coast of Venezuela. It is perfectly placed outside the hurricane belt, so literally any time of the year is a great time to visit. A lot of people have been messaging me and asking me questions about my trip, the process of getting there, what we did, prices. So this video is gonna be all that wrapped into one. So let's get started with the process of getting to Aruba. Side note, YouTube doesn't want people saying certain words that pertain to what's going on in the world right now, so we're gonna talk about it without talking about it. There are 3 important things you need to know. You do have to get tested to get to Aruba. So you have 2 options. You can get tested 72 hours before your flight, but that didn't seem like an option for Blaze and I because results were being pushed back like 6 to 10 days in our area. So your second option is you can get tested when you land in Aruba. It is $75 and you have to sign papers saying that you're going to quarantine for 6 to 24 hours until your results come back. Ours came back in about 8 hours, so it wasn't bad. Second thing you need to know is you have to purchase traveler's insurance. It is $15 a day, or if you're going like 2 weeks to a month, a long term, there are discounted prices. And it covers, make sure you go to aruba.com because it will give you all this information I just gave you in detail because some of it does vary based off your residency. I'll link that below for you. And the third thing you need to know is to download the Aruba Health App. I'll show you it right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this is what it looks like. And if you've never been out of the country before, whenever you're on the plane going there, they pass out these papers that you turn into customs with your personal information on it. How long was your stay? Where are you staying? Why are you coming here? Obviously. But this is a contactless way to do that. I highly suggest you download it and register before you even go because when you get there, you might not have the best service to download it. Speaking of service, I have Sprint and I had service the whole time in Aruba. I just couldn't go on the internet unless we were in Wi-Fi, but Blaze has AT&T and he had no service at all. We did find out that there is a cell service called Digicel and you can purchase a SIM card for the week for $30 if you have an unlocked phone. Next, I'm gonna talk about places to stay. There is anything from an Airbnb for $600 for the week to $3,000 all-inclusive resorts. There is everything you can imagine in Aruba. Blaze and I stayed at the Marriott Resort Stellarius and Casino, and we got a deluxe king room with an ocean view for $2,300 for the week. Only thing I didn't like about the Marriott is they didn't have free Wi-Fi unless you were a member, so guess who signed up to be a member. The best part about staying on the north side of the island is almost all the resorts have private beaches, so they're never overcrowded. Next, I'm gonna talk about transportation. You need to know there are no Ubers or Lyfts on the whole island of Aruba, but as soon as you come out of the airport, there are taxis and car rental companies. You can rent a car in Aruba for on average of like $50 a day. You could probably find them cheaper, but that's just like the average going rate. The taxis are government owned, so you pay a fixed rate. Our ride from the airport to our resort was about a 15-minute car ride and it was $32 US. Everything around the tourist area when we took taxis were around $12. I also want to mention that taxis are safe, and every time we rode in a taxi, our drivers were so nice and they helped us with any questions we had. Another option is you can take the bus, which is $2.60 per person. There were also pedal bike rentals we've seen. We don't know how much they were and it was entirely too hot for that and we're out of shape, so that didn't happen. Okay, actually I have a funny story. One day we were waiting at a bus stop and all these cars passing us kept honking and we were like, what the Like, why are they honking at us? So come to find out, that's a way of taxi drivers to kind of ask you if you need a ride. And if they honk at you, just wave your hand and they'll come back for you. Also, a really important thing that I want to mention is there were absolutely no language barriers. Everyone spoke fluent English, so that was a plus. Everywhere we went accepted US dollars, but there were a couple times that we would pay with US dollars and we would get US dollars back in change, but then the coins would be Aruban florin. But it's because the exchange rate doesn't always equal out perfectly. But a lot of the times our total would be, you know, just an even amount. So you didn't have to give change. But there were a couple times where it was, and it was a little off. But I mean, who cares? It's just a couple cents. I don't know. Maybe you care. Aruba is actually a really small island. From one side of the island to the other is only 20 miles. 2.5 miles of that is the touristy area. Almost everything is within walking distance. We found multiple shopping plazas with like mini marts, liquor stores, clothes, souvenir shops, all that good stuff that you could even imagine. And there were so many good restaurants. Food in Aruba is a little bit expensive, but that's because most of it is imported. And there's so many options. We even went to one restaurant where we cooked our own food on a hot stone. It was a really cool experience. Just don't take your little kids there because you don't want them touching the hot stone and burning themselves. So next I want to get into our excursions. Some of them we booked online and some of them we booked through our concierge at our hotel. I would highly suggest doing that if you have that option because a lot of them were more discounted through the concierge. Our first excursion we did was the Jolly Roger pirate ship. And honestly, we had so much fun. It was $49 a person. You stop at 3 different stops. The first stop is a sunken ship about 60 feet down. And Blaze and I got to swim with a sea turtle. The second stop was only about 10 feet deep. There was coral and fish, and then the third stop you got to swing on the rope swing into the open ocean. There was music, an open bar, and it was a 3-hour tour. We also met some really good people on there that we met out later that night to get drinks with. I would absolutely recommend doing the Jolly Roger pirate ship. So the next excursion we did was a UTV tour through De Palm Tours. They picked us up at our hotel and dropped us off. It was only $170 for both of us. It was a double-seater. Yeah, pretty much what you did was you drove to the other side of the island and then you went off-roading into their national park. I will say it was pretty extreme. You want to bring some sort of eye protection like goggles or sunglasses because you do get a lot of dirt in your eyes. And they give you this nice like scarf thing that covers your mouth. We got to see the natural pools. There was a natural bridge. We passed the caves, but it was really windy that day and the water was very rocky, so they said it was unsafe for us to swim in the caves. We stopped at the gold mine ruins and also a beautiful white sand beach on that side of the island that actually had waves. The last place we stopped was the chapel and it was built in 1750. Our third excursion we did was the Renaissance Private Island. We booked online and it was $125 per person. You have to get on a boat shuttle. The boats come every 15 minutes and they ship you to their private island. There are 2 beaches on there, Iguana Beach and Flamingo Beach. You could buy food for 25 cents to feed the flamingos and the iguanas.
Okay, so I'm going to feed the flamingos.
Included in the package was a free lunch and a free drink. They told us anything on the menu. There are also free kayaks, snorkels, floats, and paddleboards included in the day package. You could also rent out cabanas on the side of Iguana Beach. And the beach was open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. They told us don't miss that last boat because you'll be stuck there, but that doesn't seem too bad. And our last excursion we did was the catamaran tour. It was $75 a person and then an extra $30 to scuba dive. Yes, scuba dive. It is basically uncertified scuba diving. Instead of the air tank being on your back, it floats on top of the water, and there's these hoses that come down, and that's what you breathe out of. That was my favorite thing of the whole trip, honestly. We also went with a tour guide, and he had a GoPro and took pictures and videos of us. We had to pay $20 for a whole flash drive of all that footage, which was worth it. The catamaran tour was a 4-hour tour. It included little sandwiches for breakfast and a catered lunch. It also was open bar and music. We also stopped at 2 other places to just regular scuba dive and chill. I got a little bit tipsy and decided to do a front flip off the boat, which was a terrible idea.
Possible. Yes. You're gonna do a front flip from the front.
Alright, I'm gonna try. Ready?
I also want to mention that the locals were so nice the whole time. Everyone we met was literally great. They are fun, sweet, they help you with anything. I get why they call Aruba one happy island. So that is all the information that I have. If you've ever been to Aruba and you have any tips or comments, please just leave those below. And thanks for watching our video. Peace out. Psych.
Yeah, there you go.